Hello, my name is Feldrin and welcome back to Dungeon Siege 3. Last time we left off with heading back to the court to hand in all the quests. I actually already recorded that with Katarina, so I'm going to have to jump back to some old footage first and then we're going to continue with Lucas. Alright, we finished off a whole bunch of side quests, so let's hand them in.
You're back. I don't suppose you found the rifle.
I have it right here.
Lord Devonsey was right about you. I don't know how to thank you enough. Please, take these items. I'm sure you'll need them before you've seen the last of Jane Cassinda.
Alright, onwards to Roslyn as well as Phineas. Now, can't we talk to you? Come on, I want to talk to you first.
I hear the tunnels have yet to be fully sealed. I hope my requests haven't distracted you too much from the task at hand. The Pay Knight. You have it. Wonderful. You have ensured the future of geomancy. And perhaps the royal line as well. Please, take these items. They're prized possessions from the royal armory. A fair reward for your contributions.
Frostfire. Let me take a look at that. Is that a staff? No. Come on, where can I find that? Oh, there. A lot of attack and Chaos Fire and Chaos Ice. Apart from that, it sucks, to be honest. Oh well, perhaps Roslyn actually has something good for us.
I'm told that the tunnels are sealed and Jane's forces are repulsed. That was fine work. Now she's trying to drill her way inside at the base of the deep well. You heard the noise in the tunnels, no doubt?
What kind of drill are we talking about?
Goblin technology. Easy enough to procure if you have contacts in Stonebridge, and everyone does. We acquire our cannons the same way.
Phineas and I have prepared a trap for Jane. It will require all our remaining stores of black powder.
We'll need to shut down the stone stream. Allow the combustible vapors to accumulate at the bottom of the well.
You're saying that the mines are full of explosive gas?
Some parts of the mines, yes. It's especially bad in the deep well, with gases rising from somewhere below. You'll see giant fans all over the mines. They're part of the stone stream, circulating the air so that the vapors don't grow too thick.
Sometimes the main character in this game is a terrible Captain Obvious, just asking questions for the other characters to go and expound their lore and background. Let's see, the stone stream.
The stone stream? You mean the floating rocks in the middle of the deep well?
Not just the rocks, but yes, that's the most visible part. The stone stream is a system. It extends to every part of Glitterdelve. Think of the mines as a vast living creature, which they are in a sense. The stone stream is like a massive set of lungs, drawing clean air from outside and flushing out the explosive vapors in the mine.
Such a massive system, and it only controls the flow of air?
No. It's also like a heart, pumping clean water through the tunnels for drinking and getting rid of waste. It heats and cools the water too, which has the function of regulating temperature in different parts of the mine. Rather like sweat. I suppose there's no perfect metaphor. I'll have to work on that.
And this whole system was built using magic?
Ingenious, weren't they? The dwarves, I mean. They're the ones who created the stone stream. And now they're gone. No way to learn how the dwarves built all this except to puzzle it out myself.
Another casualty of the war. They died to protect my father. And me.
So if the vapors collect at the bottom of the deep well, we can set off an explosion.
And consume Jane's army and fire. If any survive, they'll surely be crushed by falling rock, and their tunnel will be buried as well. I've taken some of the cannons that you saved from the swamp and set them at the bottom of the well. If Jane's forces break through the tunnel too soon, they'll provide a tactical advantage.
What do you think of our plan? Lord Devonsey is sure it will work, but I should like to hear the Legion's opinion too.
Right, as we are with Katarina, we are going to go with It's a Risk. This is not really a choice, it's just more influence opportunities.
I won't lie to you, Your Majesty. The plan could fail in any number of ways. But if we try to face them head-on, we have no chance.
Jane would do the same were she in our place. She's no fool.
No, you're right. We mustn't fear to take a risk. I cannot run from Jane Cassinda forever, or I am no queen at all.
Very good. We're all agreed then. Phineas will climb to the top of the well and shut off the stone stream. Will you go with him and keep him safe?
Are you worried about the creatures in the mines? Or something more?
The dwarves had good reason to guard the stone stream, especially the main hub, the source of power for the whole system. I've never gotten close to the hub, only studied it from afar. But I'm sure it's protected, and I'm not much of a soldier. I suppose I made that clear enough in the swamp.
So you'll be at the bottom of the well, setting the black powder charges?
Roderick and his men are already at work. They're bringing the last of the charges below.
Phineas will be safe with me, as long as he stays close.
Right. I've got to fetch a few books and scrolls. I'll meet you at the top of the well.
Alright, so our next task is to disable these stone streams so that we can fight Jane Cassinda's army. At this point in the game I believe that Lucas, out of the 3 characters we have, is actually the most well equipped. He just got better stuff from stores.
For you. Step onto it.
Luckily NPCs will just teleport towards you.
There you are. Let's hurry. I should be able to form a path to the center.
Magnificent. I don't even know what to call it. Device? Apparatus? Floating stone thing?
There it is. I've never been this close. Sad, but we must put it to rest. This will take a few moments. All of my focus. Sentinels! They won't stop until I hold the stone stream. Keep them back!
Those sentinels don't look happy to see us.
This is basically an endurance fight. More and more of those eternally respawning enemies will, well, spawn. And you're going to have to kill them over and over again. Or at least avoid them as long as Phineas is busy.
It's like trying to hold back a river. I'm trying.
It's not that difficult. The worst that can happen is getting stuck in those twirly attacks of theirs.
These damn things. There are no traps to lure them into.
And that can kill you quite quickly if you are getting stuck in those attacks. Yep, they're already down. Shouldn't take too long, really.
It's beginning to stop. Just a little while longer.
The system devils on there. Got to hold them back.
It is actually better to stun them than to kill them, because if you stun them, then it takes longer for them to go and attack you again. Holy shit, that's a lot.
I have it. It's done. I need to rest a while. Go on, quickly. I'll be safe here.
I don't think we can actually talk to him right now. Now, the only thing we can interact with is this area. The stone stream's motion is completely halted. Phineas has placed the magical system in stasis, though it is not clear how such a change will affect the mines as a whole. Alright, now with that done, and most of the loot already looted by Lucas, it looks like. That's a nice feature that your characters, your companions, pick up anything you don't pick up. Let's continue.
Phineas did it, didn't he? The fans have stopped, which means that the well is going to be a dangerous place very soon. Unfortunately, it won't be soon enough. Jane's army broke through and her men are storming into the bedrock. Lord Devonsey and his soldiers are holding them off. Help them buy us some time to get our explosives ready. Then we'll send those bastards to Azanai.
Alright, to where is that? Oh, we need to return to the court now. Really? Nope, all of Jane's army, exactly, I thought so. Let's see. Alright, this is going to be a fair bit of walking. Let me skip forwards. Can I interact with this? Yes. These are some of the cannons that you helped rescue from the eastern swamp, clearly put to good use. The royalists have focused their fire on the main entrance leading into the bedrock. I wish we could actually fire those cannons ourselves. I don't really need to save the game. The save will be, it will be automatically saved about here, I think.
I'm glad you're safe. Look, down there. We held the high ground, but they're pushing us back. My soldiers need your help. You can take the floating platform to the bottom. Thanks to you, we still have our cannons from the swamp. We'll use them to cover you until Roderick signals us all to retreat. Do whatever you can to delay Jane's army. We need more time for the vapors to build up at the bottom of the well.
Alright, we actually came from here ages ago, I believe. Let's head into this fight then.
Yes, it's a fine stench. It's building up fast.
This is one of the few points where I like to use these shields. Because 10% more health, or was it? It was 25, wasn't it? Yes, 25% more health is actually a lot against these guys. Anything that I can do to get more health is way worth it. The first fight here is pretty difficult, with a whole lot of those assassin-type enemies killing me and especially Katarina really quickly. Lucas is a lot luckier.
Hold your peace. My Lady Jane Cassander calls parley.
Lower your weapons. We've come here to talk. I would know who leads my enemy's army. Tell me, why is your face so like my handmaid's and my own? Why does an Archon stand against her own kind?
I like how it took a little bit before they stopped firing the cannons from above.
You claim to be an Archon too?
My mother was an Archon, yes.
My lady, this woman was one of the Legionnaires in Raven's Rill. My life was spared by her word.
Mercy from the Legion? I find that hard to believe. Unless it was some kind of ploy. Violence has always been the Legion's way. Ever since Hugh Montbaron murdered the old king. Did you plan the same for little Queen Mouse?
What did we do to earn your hate? It couldn't have been the death of some distant king.
Some distant king? Yes. He must seem so to you. The old king. The man your Legion sought to murder and displace. He was my father.
And your mother? She was an Archon?
Yes. One of the last of her kind. Granted shelter and solace by my father, the king.
I think we already asked this one, but oh well.
If it's true that your mother was an Archon, what brought her to Ebb?
She came to this world with her sisters, seeking the lost gods they once served. She could not have been much different from you, except that she understood who and what she was. And she had her sisters. She was not alone.
If your father was the old king, then you and Roslyn are family.
By blood, Roslyn is my niece. But I will never call her kin. Her family stood by, content to watch, while I destroyed the Legion and avenged our father. Only then did they turn against me. They raised an army to put me in chains. A mistake, they'd tell you. If they were not all dead.
Roslyn had no part in any of this, so why fight her?
Because Roslyn is weak. She could never rebuild this nation alone. She'll be forced to rely upon others, like your Legion. And you will have power over her. But that is what you want, is it not? I have no need to make such bargains. I am strong enough to rebuild my father's kingdom on my own. And greater powers, not of this world, have shown their favor of me. I will not fail.
If the royal family turned against you, they must have had good reason.
Good reason? Only if you count jealousy and fear. People had begun to whisper that the king had been my father. They were rumors, nothing more. But they worried the rightful heirs. I had no designs upon the throne. Not then. But neither would I go quietly to the noose. They created the very monster they feared.
Rosalind said nothing of this to me. Does she know that she's your niece?
Perhaps she doesn't know, if her family kept it from her. What better way to let a shameful secret die?
We've spoken enough about your father and his kin.
Now you know why I lay claim to this kingdom. I am well within my rights.
Angeli and Katerina would actually prefer to tell her that you are lying, but because we've got Lucas with us, we're going to go with I believe you.
What if I take you at your word? Can we negotiate a truce?
What if there is some truth to what she says? Wouldn't hurt to ask Devonsey, if we get out of this alive.
They need not be killed, my lady. We could offer exile, or...
Not to the Legion. No. I have heard the voices of my mother's lost gods. On this day, they will grant me victory over you and the Pretender Queen. This parley is finished. Remain here, and you will be slain. Try to run, and I will hunt you down. We shall not speak again.
Do you hear that noise? Ah, didn't Phineas say something about a war beast?
Alright, the rather odd cut with which we start this fight is because I actually died twice earlier when I tried to fight the war beast. It's a very strong boss, really. It has one major attack where he stomps in one direction, that one, and basically anything that ends up getting in his path will die. It can deal about at least 1000 damage, but I've seen it deal 1600 on occasion as well. So it can be an instant kill for me and even for Lucas sometimes. And what makes the fight even more difficult is all the adds that spawn. You can make use of the war beast actually killing all the adds himself when he just runs through them, but every once in a while you really want to get rid of all the damn archers that keep firing away at you. I really like to use the shield for this fight, because even though it's just 25% is more health that you really need. Also, we need to get Lucas back up. When I tried this fight with Katerina, I actually couldn't do it at all, because she is capable of soaking up so little damage that really there was only me as a target. I couldn't really res her all the time. But that was also when I had less health and I didn't use the shield. Totally unrelated to this fight, but it's nice that we've finally gotten to see Jane Cassinda, the nemesis that has been named so often before. I also like that she isn't straight up evil, but that she actually has legitimate grievances. I really need to get... oh, bloody hell. Yes. No, come on, Lucas. Damn, that was really close. Alright, I need the shield up and I need healing. I need orbs as well. The defensive abilities you can only use when spending one of the orbs. And you can only get orbs by killing things, and when the war beast kills everything, then we're not getting any orbs and then I'm not getting any healing. And Lucas really refuses to survive this time. I'm used to him being a bit sturdier. Perhaps it's because I switched some of his gear out for more damaging gear instead of survival gear. but other than the Warbeast dealing a whole lot of damage, this fight isn't all that difficult. You just need to learn how to dodge him, or basically to ignore him. If you are capable of dealing a whole lot of damage really fast, I think it's possible to just focus on the Warbeast, but I'm not in that kind of a position at this point. Alright, this shouldn't take too long. Lucas is actually capable of dealing a whole lot of damage right now. I've replaced the Folk Cleaver weapon that we got in, where was it, the Hero's Crypt, with a two-handed sword that deals even more damage. I'm not sure why Lucas keeps getting good gear. Oh well, now it's just about staying alive long enough until I can get a few hits in on the Warbeast. And probably get Lucas up again. Now, if you get hit during an attempt to rest things, then the rest will get interrupted. It's very annoying against, well, when a companion is trying to rest you and you're really just hoping that he doesn't get hit. I think what actually damaged the Warbeast over there was my AoE going off? Or was it a shield? I don't know. I am not sure what actually killed the Warbeast, but oh well, I'm cool with this.
The Warbeast lay dead, its fall testament to the might of the 10th Legion. But it seemed a Pyrrhic victory, as the Azunite army pushed into the deep well. Hundreds of soldiers poured from the tunnels, easily outnumbering the Royalist forces. You and your allies fled before them. But this was not the defeat it might have seemed. Without the stone stream to refresh it, the air in the deep well was a seething cauldron of explosive gas, awaiting the merest spark. That spark the Royalists were all too happy to provide. The explosion collapsed the well, entombing the Azunites beneath the mountain, and shattering Jane Cassinder's hopes of destroying the Queen. Would that Cassinder herself had been buried there, along with her men. But such an end was not her fate.
Jane's army is fleeing down the mountain. The woman lives, but we're safe from her. For now.
The victory is yours. We owe the Legion our lives.
I'm told that Jane spoke to you. She mentioned the old king, no doubt. And the Legion's role in his murder.
As we are with Lucas, he wants to get the truth out of the matter.
I need to know what really happened. All the facts, no matter how shameful.
We ought to begin more conversations this way.
Jane Cassinder spoke the truth, as far as she understands it. The commanders of the Legion did conspire to unseat the old king. The goal was never to murder the old king, only to replace him with his eldest son. But the king resisted, and the matter went awry.
You must understand. My grandfather was a monster. Even his own children despised him.
I like it, how that the Legion was actually trying to play Kingmaker.
You say the king was a monster. What had he done?
I do not pretend to understand the man, but by all accounts, he was prone to paranoia, irrational rages. He grew jealous of the Legion. Before long, he started seizing our chapter houses and estates, threatening to disband the Legion altogether. So Mont Baron struck first.
We have a friend, an old Legion scout called Odo. Would he have known about the plot?
No. Mont Baron told the rank and file nothing, so that they wouldn't share in his guilt. Little good it did them. They all died, innocent or not.
You were one of the Legion commanders. Weren't you part of the plot?
When the plan was put forward by Montbaron, I spoke against it. We had all made a vow to defend the crown, and it seemed to me that our word should be kept. But all the others disagreed. So I abandoned the Legion, left the hall, out the door, and never went back. The king was in the wrong, yes. But was treason our only recourse? I thought not.
You were the only one who abandoned the Legion over this?
A good friend followed me into exile. His name was Garin Marcel. We served the royal family as generals during the war with Jane. Garin died at the Battle of Drifter's Cross. Phineas is his son.
Phineas has Legion blood? I'd never have guessed. Seems a bit cerebral, doesn't he?
If they didn't mean to harm the king, then why was he slain?
I wasn't there when it happened, but I'm told that the king drew a sword. The man wasn't much of a fighter, more a danger to himself than the Legionnaires. Who knows how he ended up with a blade in his gut? All the parties are long dead, and we shall never learn the truth.
Jane told me something else. She said that she was the king's illegitimate daughter.
Ah, the old rumors. I can't say for sure, but I am inclined to believe them.
Jane Cassinda shares my blood? What else have you not told me, Lord Devonsey? The woman lost her father. Her family betrayed her. That doesn't excuse what she's done, but at least now I understand. I would ask one more favor of the Legion. Should you meet her again, will you spare Jane Cassinda's life?
Your Majesty, she's been hunting you and your family for years. Why would you ask me to spare her life?
This mountain once bustled with dwarves, and now they are gone. Dead so that I might keep my crown. My parents, my maids and courtiers, all of Lord Devonsey's men. Too many have died for my sake.
Your Majesty, think of the political ramifications.
If Jane Cassinda dies, do you think the cities of the East will bow their heads? No. They will curse us for murdering their living saint, and the war will drag on.
Whereas if we come to an agreement and Jane is kept alive, the war ends peacefully.
You assume that the woman will surrender at all. I wouldn't make such a wager.
This isn't yet a choice, it's just an interesting conversation option. Lucas and Angeli are actually more emotionally involved with this, and they would prefer us to say no I won't, whereas Katerina and Reinhardt are way more rational, and they would prefer that we kept her alive. But we are with Lucas, so let's go for no I won't.
Jane Cassinda is too dangerous. She can't be allowed to live.
I have to agree. And I'd hardly call myself a bloodthirsty sort of person.
I understand. I only ask you to consider my words. The Legion has my trust and support, whatever you decide.
I shall send riders to all the towns and villages that support the Queen with news of our alliance. You have the word of the Royal Court. All Western Ebb will stand united behind the Legion.
Oh dear, that's a lot of loot. And a level up. Is there anything left that I actually want to get? Fall from the heavens, yes. Hurled spare, I need to use that more often. Inner warmth to get more healing. It's not a lot, but to be able to get 10% instantly instead of waiting for the ticks every 30 seconds, that is worth something. Ah, the Pillar of Fire. Yes. Yes, let's finish this first. And yes, indeed, I forgot that I had one to go here, and I thought that we were running in front of, I think, Katerina. What am I going to do here? Let's just finish this. And then there is Lucas. I think I gave him a few points in this off-screen. He got a few new abilities, but that's all not very interesting to be honest, and we're not going to be seeing how he plays, except for when he plays himself, so... this just pushes nearby enemies a meter and slows them, more pushback, more slow. I think it's nice if he can crowd control a bit. And I'm going to give him an increasing chance to shrug off attacks when he is under 25% health, so that he can tank ever better. Now let's hope that we're actually going to get something worth our while. Because I really would like some good items for our own character. That looks decent enough. I would have preferred a Doom Essence though. Let me just quickly check whether there's anything I want over here before we head back. Alright, let me equip that and then we'll continue. No, that was over here. Wonderful. Also, we have gained a third orb. That is going to be nice. Especially, let me see, it's going to be very valuable for what has been mastered. The Aura of Immolation has actually been mastered. And Inner Warmth has that been mastered? I believe so. Spear, Jackal, no. The Pillar of Fire. Alright, I am going to have to see how those look. Alright. And that finishes off the Tumbledown Court. Luckily, we don't have to walk ages to return. We can just talk to this guy.
We've come a long way from that filthy swamp, haven't we? You've given us a victory that will be remembered for years to come. Escorting you to the causeway is the least that we can do. Are you ready to go?
Yes, there is nothing for us here.
Yes, let's head to the causeway.
Alright, and we are atop the mountain again, and there's the causeway. There's just one tiny thing that I wanted to show, and this is the way they choose to block off the road. It's a bit hanky. Can I talk to anyone here? No. When I talk to him, he'll just ask us whether we want to return to where we came from. Alright, time to get back to Odo. Oh, bugger, this again. Alright, see you in a second. I'm going to have to walk the bloody distance, of course.
We've had rumors of another battle. Is it true? Jane Cassinda's army retreating in disarray?
Disarray is too kind a word. I might say panic, or terror instead.
And Rosalind, what did you think of her? Worthy to wear the crown or no?
This is another influence opportunity for Lucas.
She's young and soft-hearted. With guidance, she could become strong.
Soft-hearted is a bit of an understatement. Tell them how she asked us to be nice to Jane Cassinda.
I think that bodes well for us. Strength can be learned. Empathy and compassion cannot.
What about our proposal? Does she favor the Legion?
Rosalind agreed to an alliance. She and Devonsey gave their word.
Well done. But that's not all, is it? The news can't all be good.
Hugh Montbaron tried to overthrow the old king. The murder was an accident, but Devonsey said...
No more. I don't want to hear. You think I hadn't guessed it was something like that? I still called it a lie. We can't tell this story, not ever.
The people already heard this from Jane. It's too late to hide the truth.
If we win this war, Jane will be dead. Her words become lies, and ours become truth.
You're wrong, Odo. The story needs to be told, or the lesson will never be learned.
And what then? The people won't blame Montbaron. They'll paint the whole Legion with the same bloody brush. Kingslayers forevermore. We'll be feared. No matter how virtuous we seem, we'll always be a threat.
As we are with Lucas, we are going to have to pick Martin as right to gain his influence. But to be honest, I actually think Odo is right. If it's going to go down in the history books that the Legion slaughtered the last king just to get his son on the throne, even if the last king was a loony bin, then that's not going to go down into history that well for us. Oh well, let's join Lucas in his decision.
Better that the people hear the truth from our lips. I won't lie to them.
Indeed. I don't think deception was ever part of the Legion Code.
I was half afraid that Martin might say something like this. But you too?
The Legion will be better for this, not worse. The Crown as well. If we all know the story and remember it, we won't repeat the same mistakes. We've made our choice. Let's speak of something else. What else did you learn in Glitterdelve?
Sadly, there's no consequence to their choice. That would have actually been nice.
Jane Cassander is the daughter of the old king. She told me herself. You never knew?
I always thought that was just a rumor. This changes things.
If Jane Cassander is the old king's daughter, then she has a claim to the throne. Probably thinks it's her right.
Better to strike now while she's off balance. Still reeling from her loss at Glitterdelve.
Or maybe Jane will listen to reason, now that she's tasted defeat.
You bloodied her nose and you stung her pride, that's true. But the army you destroyed was only a small part of her strength. If we try to talk, we'll only give her time to rebuild. We need an ally who can distract her forces, while we go after Jane herself.
Stonebridge can field an army of automatons if need be. If we can seal an alliance with them, they might be willing to help us against Jane.
Jane could be anywhere. Do you know where she's gone?
Jane's capital is 5 days' march from here, maybe more. She calls it the Spire. Half cathedral, half fortress, on the summit of a mountain. That's where she'll be. The most impregnable stronghold in Ebb.
Would the Meisters really go to war with Jane?
Doubtful. No profit in it. And besides, these merchants and bankers are soft.
I agree. Our chances may be slim, but it's still worth a try.
Alright, and that finishes off the Glitterdelve mines. Next, what is the deed gained comrade in arms? Let me just see what that is. I think that is something from Lucas. Isn't it? Yes, regards you as a true exemplar of Legion principles. His loyalty to you is absolute. Oh, that is a lot. My. Well, alright, with that we finished off the Glitterdelve mines and the Tumbledown Court, and now it's time to explore the town, or we could do the DLC first. Anyway, that's it for now. Have a good evening, and I'll see you next time.